What are some good weird questions to ask someone to get to know them better? What do you hate? Seriously, you can have nothing in common with a person, but as soon as you realize you both hate the same things, you'll feel like that dude is family. Now that I think about it, that explains a lot of the things that happened these last years. You wow, I hate me too. We should be friends. One day at work we got a new hire who was set to work with me and another guy on the night shift. For the first week she barely said anything. Then at the start of week 2 I'm midway into the shift focusing on some shit on my computer monitor when I hear her say, "What's your opinion on eating ass?" I was ducking shocked and that's hard to do. I bust out laughing and tell her to do that again to our other coworker. Few minutes later he comes back and is also focusing on some computer stuff. It gets dead quiet and she quietly turns to him and days, "What's your opinion on eating ass?" He didn't even move. Immediately his ears moved like he was just jolted back to reality from zoning out. He slowly turns to her with the eyebrow thing like The Rock does but with glasses and goes, "What?" I was crying. What's the largest mammal you think you could knock out with a single punch? I asked my 9-year-old son this question and he said a human, and I looked at him and said, "You think you could knock out a human with one punch?" And he goes, "Well, a baby." This absolutely cracked me up for some reason. Yay, I started laughing and probably shouldn't have. And then I told him the first response was a squirrel lol. What's one superpower you would not want? Their answer could be pretty telling. If they answer seriously or sarcastically or don't want to play along. I asked my so this, and he said the power to command fish, and I was like, why? And he was like, I'm never around fish. Solid. What can you talk about for hours? What's the best part of your day? Edit Gold. Thanks. May all of your conversations blossom. 10 minutes later. Oh, I regret that first question. Depends. I've had it go both ways for me. A new friend noticed that I had a Keyblade on my wall, and we spent the next hour geeking out over Kingdom Hearts. But I also met a new acquaintance and made the mistake of mentioning an anime. He suddenly went full weeaboo and I spent the next 30 minutes trying to escape the conversation by any means necessary. I once had someone ask me, "What's the worst thing about you?" Guess what? I have flaws. What are they? Oh, no. I sing in the shower. Sometimes I spend too much time volunteering. Occasionally I'll hit somebody with my car. So sue me. It was just Meredith. Was it on company property? It was on company property, with company property. So, double jeopardy, we're fine. That's not how double jeopardy works. What is we're fine? One day, Michael came in complaining about a speed bump on the highway. I wonder who he ran over then. Dunder Mifflin never fails to appear. When's the last time your dick has gotten direct sunlight? I don't know if my dick ever has. Ask them their favorite holiday. See if it's a more family-oriented holiday or a more social holiday. As a British person, I was thoroughly confused when the replies to this weren't foreign destinations. I have British relatives, and when they referred to previous vacations as holidays, I truly thought at first they just went on vacation during holidays. Took me a bit to figure out it had a different meaning. As an Australian, I had no idea they were different. We call vacations either vacations or holidays, and holidays are holidays too. I think I need to sit down. You come across an old lady and baby drowning in a pool. You can only save one. Who do you save and why? Had someone asked me this at a semi-professional event as an icebreaker, haha. Much better than the usual questions. It would be physically easier to save the baby. But the baby is less likely to be able to negotiate a payment for rescue services. Kidnap the baby, raise it as your own, guilt it into supporting you in your old age. Baby grows up, finds itself having to decide whether to save you, or a baby drowning in a pool. Grown-up baby can't make decisions because of your guilt, trips, panics, jumps in and drowns itself. Edit, Bod Spulling. Suddenly another baby leaps out of the bushes and saves you both. Turns out grown-up baby had a baby it never told you about. Favorite color, birthday, name of their first pet, and mother's maiden name. No reason. Hey man, does your credit card have 3 numbers on the back like mine? Lol, what are they? Lol. Important to note here that you don't just laugh. You say the letters lol. My new coworker of 2 days asked me if someone offered you $10 million for a quarter pound of your flesh for them to consume, would you do it? Edit, it has to be your calf muscle. No unborn babies, no fat. Just a quarter pound of calf muscle. My coworker just told me you have to remove the muscle all at once, that way you can't recover and then have a bit more removed. Edit 2, till a lot of people want to eat their own flesh. So many questions. A. Define flesh. Will it need to be muscle or would fat be okay? B. Do they choose which parts of my flesh they get? C. How do they get the flesh? Do I carve it myself? Do they pay for some surgery? Do I only need to get it to them and they don't care how? Abbott is your calf muscles. C. They pay for the surgery. A quarter of a pound of calf muscle would be a big chunk of that one calf. I don't even know if I'd be able to walk for some time. You can use a couple million of the $10 million you just got to buy sweet new robo legs. True. I somehow slowly forgot there was a $10 million check involved as I climbed down the comment tree. You thought that we were all debating about whether or not we would do it for free. I don't really know what my thoughts were, to be honest. I knew there was some kind of payment, but I had forgotten it was that much. Sure, cut off a quarter of a pound of calf muscle for free and make me a custom McD's quarter pounder. We have to do this at work, asking 5 questions to 3 new coworkers every week. My questions are, if you could bankrupt any person, company, country, or organization, who would it be? What is your drink of choice? If you could learn any musical instrument, what would it be? If you could intervene during any historic event changing history, what would it be? You just became a member of the Spice Girls. What is your spice name? Create your own. How do you hire so many new people all the time? It's a high-stress environment, so the starting position has a pretty high turnover. We did have a hiring freeze for a while, which made it hard, but we usually have a pretty steady volume of new people. Clarifying the comment about being a high-stress environment due to the responses. The job pays well, the management and executive team are great, it is simply a matter of the industry we are in that is difficult. Edited for grammar incorrect word. Man, tell your boss I said hi. I like to ask, what's your favorite smell? You learn a lot about a person. Edit, so I guess I should say my favorite smells are, the smell after a fresh blanket of snow that has fallen, the smell of my grandpa's workshop, which was a mixture of farm and fuel, and lastly the smell of the beach, whether it be the lake or ocean. Second, for all you asking how it can tell a lot about a person, if you looks at say my favorite smells, you can guess that I am from a place or have been to one that gets cold, and had farmland. Which I have, I'm from northern Illinois. So it's sometimes quite easy to connect a smell to a person's life. The smell of napalm in the morning. It smells like victory. Do you by chance play drums? Good drummers are hard to find, so it pays to ask around. Bad drummers also play the drums. Source, friends in a really good percussion quartet. If they ask to join your band, bad drummer. If you have to ask them to join your band, okay drummer. If you have to convince them because they're already in 4 other bands, good drummer. Ha! I've been asked to join several bands and I'm pretty terrible. Apparently there is a real shortage of drummers out there. Play drums and drive a van. Not sure what's rarer than unicorn ball sweat, but it's probably that. The Neat has a piece about the 36 questions that lead to love. The title notwithstanding, it can be used to get to know anyone better. I've started sharing the questions with friends and I've never gotten past number 5 as we end up talking so much.